Hello YouTube, this is ST with Silver Stacking 101. In this video, I am going to address the largest gold theft in the history of the world. If you are a United States citizen, you have a vested interest in this video. Before I begin to talk about the mechanics that were used for the actual theft, I want to address what the Federal Reserve is. The Federal Reserve is an entity that was conceived by the banksters to operate under governmental oversight for the public good. In actuality, it is an entity that operates for the good of the banksters. Whenever the banksters' ends and the public's ends have diverted, such as 2008-2009, the Federal Reserve has always went for the ends of the banksters over the public. So it operates not for the public good, but for the good of the bankers. Second of all, let's talk about governmental oversight. This happens. The Federal Reserve does a phenomenal job providing oversight to the United States government. Look at the news. Whichever party's in charge, look at the monetary policy. Who is dictating the monetary policy in actuality? The Federal Reserve. And it does so to operate for the ends of the bankers, not the general public. Is the Federal Reserve a private entity or a public entity? Actually, it's neither. It's a weird type of organization that sets out there theoretically for the public good. Of course, we know it doesn't operate for the public good. It operates for the bankers' good. Now, another issue I want to address before I begin on the mechanics. No social change comes about from wonderful, great times. When people are fat, dumb, and happy, they will not accept changes to the status quo because they like the status quo. During the Great Depression, and let's move to the mechanics of the theft and how it went down. During the Great Depression in 1933, Franklin Delano Roosevelt signed Executive Order 6102 that basically made it a criminal offense for U.S. citizens to hoard, own, or trade gold anywhere in the world. Use Google. Fact check everything I am telling you, please. In 1934, Congress passed the Gold Reserve Act. What this did was simple. It made it a crime to own gold. So the public had to turn their gold in, but they were paid in money that was backed by gold. So they had the purchasing power of gold without the physical gold. The gold was taken and melted down into bars and placed at Fort Knox, Kentucky. Now, the next question, who owns the gold? The United States is in possession of the gold, the government of the United States. However, the Federal Reserve has the claim checks, the legal title for the gold. The Federal Reserve is carrying the gold on their balance sheet as an asset. It is the Federal Reserve that owns the United States Gold Reserve. They might not be in physical possession, but they have the title to the asset. But we're going along. We have currency that's backed by that gold. So the populace is not that upset about it. Now, the last audit of this gold reserve was completed in 1954. there has not been a comprehensive audit of the United States gold reserve since 1954. When Ben Bernanke was asked about it, he gave the excuse it will cost $15 million to perform a comprehensive audit of the United States gold reserve, which is a drop in the ocean compared to the value of the reserve. So the guy doesn't want a $15 million accounting bill to assure the public the gold is there. Why should the public be assured the gold is there? The public doesn't own it anyway. The Federal Reserve owns it. Who controls the Federal Reserve? The banksters. Now, in 1971, Richard Nixon took us off the gold standard. So now the currency that we have, fiat currency, is not even backed by the gold they stole from us. So they paid off the people in currency that was backed by the gold, okay. And then they reverted to currency where the currency is no longer backed by anything, but they're still holding the gold. Does that sound like a con job to you? Sure does to me. I'm an accountant and a fraud investigator. That sounds like fraud to me. I don't know. Now, when the economy crashes, and it will, and the dollar crashes, it will, we know this because all fiat currency in the entire history of the world has reverted to its intrinsic value, which is zero. One entity, the Federal Reserve, is going to be left with 10% of all the gold ever mined on planet Earth. What type of power is that? And the public says nothing. So, the Federal Reserve gives us paper that will be worthless, and they get to keep the gold through laws enacted by Congress. Why did Congress enact these laws? Well, who controls Congress? The Federal Reserve. Who do they look out for? The banks. So that's the greatest theft of wealth in the entire history of mankind. And you're not going to see it in your textbooks, even in college. This is ST with Silver Stacking 101. Please subscribe. I know this video was about gold. I hit silver, but precious metals are precious metals. And let's walk through some more issues surrounding this in future videos. God bless you. Good day.